Good morning, everyone. It is January the 4th, 2026. Today I'm going to put a couple of videos up that are in result of the drugs and that. And one is back from November of what Manitoba was doing on their throne speech on cleaning up the meth problem, which is also kind of associated with the one that just came out on January the 1st on a big drug bust that I want to put up for people to see. And they're just a couple of short videos, only a few seconds, like 20-some seconds each. And sometimes they don't put a lot up on these busts and that, but and what they're doing. But it just gives you an idea of what is being done behind the scenes. And I think it comes down to, people always say, oh, the system's broken. Oh, it's broken. It's falling apart. Well, I wouldn't say the system's completely broken and falling apart. I refer to it more of gaps in the system. And these gaps have come from older laws, may have served their purpose at that time, but over time, as the population grows, as our views and our society changes, things have to change as well. So these gaps are quite often the result of just not being able to keep up with the times, so to speak. So this is what I want to put up today, and I just want you to see what's going on. And I've seen a lot of, sometimes, not a lot, but I've been in between since the fall. I've also been seeing other busts, drug busts, and it's into the millions of dollars, which is very good. That's just part of the system. You have to have the laws in place. Then you have to have, when you have the laws in place, then you can charge and that when the busts are done for all this. And then, of course, you have the court system, and that has to go through the court system. And then when it comes to also the drugs, you also have to have all the services in place. Like you have to have housing. You have to have the social services involved. You have to have the police, and of course, are involved. And I think it's really good that our mayor has mentioned it again, that they have a program called Anchor. And I know I mentioned this back a couple months back, I believe, when they were talking about how the Anchor program in Centertown was working, and they want to expand it across the city, where it's the intervention of mental health workers. That does not necessarily mean that the police have to answer all the calls, that it can be redirected to mental health workers. So that was a new thing that was put into place. And that was good, because there again, it's filling a gap that's necessary. There's a really good example of trying to fill a gap that's necessary. And I think our society is coming together and realizing, well, things have changed drastically, certainly from when we grew up. I can tell you that, being a senior. And catching up with the times has been very difficult. And I think the shock of that was the pandemic, that we hadn't caught up with the times. So now we're running around playing catch up, and then we need all the addiction services in place. We need to make sure that we have places that people can live, places that people can get the proper support systems in place with their social housing, everything. It's coming. I've seen it, even though I'm in social housing. They're trying to definitely close these gaps that I'm seeing as well. So it's a matter of coming together and doing it, and which we are, but it doesn't come overnight. That's what I'm basically saying, is we have to work together, and we're doing it. But it's a slow process, and it's not going to be overnight by any means. So I'm going to leave it there, everyone. I'm just going to put those 2 short videos up so you can get a chance to see them. And everyone, be safe, take care, and we'll talk again soon. And bye-bye.